Welcome back to part 2 of the Planet Iceland video series, where we will be going around this beautiful island nation on a guided tour organized by Troll Expeditions. While we get our complimentary breakfast buffet, let me remind you to check out the first video if you haven't seen what wonders we visited during our first day. Today we will be visiting Seljalandsfoss, Skogafoss, town of Vik, and the Black Sand Beach. By now, you already know that foss in Icelandic means waterfall. Seljalandsfoss is the famous Icelandic waterfall where you can walk behind it. When we arrived at Seljalandsfoss, it was very windy and the waterfall was being taken apart by the wind. The waterfall is 60 meters high and is part of Seljalands River, which originates close to the Eyjafjallajökull volcanic glacier. The volcano behind this ice cap was the one that erupted in 2010 and caused havoc at airports across Europe. The most distinguishing feature of Seljalandsfoss is a pathway that stretches around it. The cliffs behind the falls have a wide cavern, and rocks and paths allow guests to fully encircle it in summer. The river Seljalands is a spring-fed river, originating under the lava about 7 kilometers up on the moors above the waterfall. If the river was to be glacial, the waterfall would lose at least half of its beauty, as the glacier river water is packed with ash, rocks, mud and dirt. I don't need to tell you that I got completely drenched while under the main waterfall because of all the wind and mist. There are two more waterfalls very close to the main fall. On our way, we took a pit stop across the village right under the Eyjafjallajökull volcanic glacier. It looked so peaceful and none of us could imagine that this is a sleeping beast. Next stop is another beautiful waterfall, the Skogafoss. As you may have guessed already, it is part of the Skoga river, hence Skogafoss. There is a steep staircase to go up towards the top of the river, which should be the first thing you do if you are doing this tour and got limited time to explore. The Skogafoss is one of the biggest waterfalls in the country, with a width of 25 meters and a drop of 60 meters. This is also one of those places in Game of Thrones where Jon Snow and Daenerys kissed after riding their dragons. Due to the amount of spray the waterfall consistently produces, a single or double rainbow is normally visible on sunny days. According to legend, the first Viking settler in the area, Thraci, buried a treasure in a cave behind the waterfall. The legend continues that the locals found the chest years later, but were only able to grasp the ring of the side of the chest before it broke off and disappeared. The ring was allegedly given to the local church. Well, managed to get myself drenched again, but thankfully the sun is shining. The volcanic landscape changed to darker plains as we approached the town of Vik, as we were traveling close to the shoreline. There are multiple black sand beaches in Iceland and few of them near Vik. This one is just walking distance from the town center. The famous Reynisfjara beach is just across the cliffs from here, and we'll be visiting it later today. Some members of our team had booked the additional Katla ice cave trip, which they would be visiting in these giant trucks. Check out those dynamically deflatable tires whose tire pressure can be controlled while driving. As I had only booked the bare bones package, few of us had few hours to explore the cute town of Vik and its surroundings. No one can miss this cute little church overlooking the town called Vik Reynisfjara, surrounded by the mountains. Walking down the mountain slopes gave me nostalgic memories of the Kashmir Great Lakes trek in the Indian Himalayas. Our guide was happy to take the rest of us to visit the Yoda cave, whose opening looks like Yoda from Star Wars, and the location was used to shoot Star Wars Rogue One. There is another name for this cave which I respectfully won't even attempt to pronounce. We had a bit of time left before our teammates returned from Katla activity, and I decided to take a trek on the mountains overlooking Vik. Atop the cliff, we can see nesting birds and the whole stretch of Vik and the black sand beaches. Next up is Reynisfjara beach, the most famous black sand beach with various strange rock formations. Visitors to Reynisfjara must be made well aware of the potential dangers present at the beach. First of all, the roaring waves of Reynisfjara are particularly dangerous, often pushing further up the beach than most would expect. In case you are wondering, the reason that there are black sand beaches in Iceland is because the sand is ground down from black volcanic rocks formed from lava that was cooled and solidified. Apart from the black sand beach and towering sea stacks, the other geological phenomena that attract visitors to Reynisfjara beach are the basalt columns. The twisting hexagonal shapes look impossible and like they must be man-made, but they are actually formed by cooled lava, just like the black sand. Stacked against each other, the basalt columns look like stepping stones and twist into the form of a cave which looks like a troll dwelling or something from a fantasy book. Legend has it that the basalt sea stacks are actually trolls who were turned into stone. This place is also featured in Game of Thrones as North of the Wall. Our day ends at the comfortable Hotel Katla, but I have to remind you that dining here can be quite expensive. Looking back at the whole tour, I had to say this is the best day and thankful that the weather didn't spoil the day. Adios for now. Let us meet again on the next part of the series.